start recording again.
Coming at you. 3, 2.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if you personally kick Candace Owens and her stinky cray-cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be about you and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Welcome. What's unpoppin', good people? Welcome to the Unpopin Show, home of unpopular opinions. I am the one called T-Storm and joined by my brother in crime, as always, my brother DJ Mike Swift.
What is happening? What's going on, everybody? Please pay the cost of admission as you come through the door. Make sure you hit the notification bell, hit the drop down, select all, so you can be notified when we drop new shows and new shorts. We're playing a lot with shorts, so please watch them and put it on your phone and just kind of let it roll 100 times so we can get them numbers. I'm joking before YouTube gets us. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you feel so inclined, leave a comment and join the Unpoppin community. Just come be with us. Be with us.
Yeah. A lot going on since we last spoke. There's been quite a few developments and silly things and stuff that we maybe have missed and we won't get to it. But one thing I do want to make mention of, I had a birthday that I celebrated. I finally came into the half a century club, into my 550s. And the common question people always say, well, how does it feel? And I say, I don't know yet. I need to walk around in it for a little longer and see, I don't know, what am I expecting to happen? Like, are my knees just going to start locking up for no reason? Like, the check engine light just pop on us? Like,
look, I don't know about 50 because I haven't made it there yet. I'm a little bit a ways away. And by the way, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Gift is in the works. It's coming.
Okay.
But I can say for sure, between...
Well, on the gift thing, if it has anything to do with strippers and naked women, just let me know in advance so I can warn Kaylee.
No. That would be the joy of sending you strippers and naked women to get you in trouble.
Who said anything about trouble? I said a heads up. So, whoa, my wife know me. She know me at this point.
I am going to leave that alone because I like her so much. I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah, no, she understands my humor. She knows I'm playing, so it's all good. That's all good. But yeah.
But no, I can't speak for 50 what check engine light comes on or not. But I swear, going between 48 and 49, like on my 49th birthday, I suddenly couldn't see anything. Right? I was that guy doing this.
Man, you know what's funny funny you say that, because my eyes have been decent. I wore glasses when I was a kid for a short while, and I hadn't worn glasses since. And like last year before last, I started noticing, like, from a distance, I wasn't quite making out the street signs as clear. Like, my dad says, I know it's Pulaski, but I don't see Pulaski. I'm not sure what I see. It was just a little fuzzier. And I got glasses. So I have glasses that I always forget to wear. Or I'll forget them in the car, or I'll forget them in my studio, or I'll forget, I'll put them on. I just forget to wear them. And so I end up having to go get, I was going to get a second pair. And we do the yearly eye check, and he goes, okay, can you see this? Can you see this? Is this better? Is this better? I'm like, oh yeah, that's better. And he goes, okay, well, we're going to give you some more aggressive lenses on the bottom. I'm like, wait a minute, did my eyes get worse? Like, he said, well, no, it's not. It's not because I'm expecting, are they going to get worse year over year? He's like, no, every 10 years or so, things may change. You know what I'm saying? So he said, what he told me, what my eye doctor told me is that, you know, as you get older, these are the things that you expect. And I'm right on par with what happens as you get, you know, as you get older, you know. So I'm not going blind, just a little fuzzy.
Look, I've been blind as a bat all my life. And if my eyesight gets any worse, I'm going to look like Mr. Magoo. There's a 50-year-old.
You should leave
reference.
Timberland's Boy alone.
Different Magoo. Different Magoo.
I didn't think Magoo was that bad of a rapper, but everybody, I'm kidding. I know the cartoon very well. That was one of my favorite cartoons. I couldn't understand that how people thought that he was not blind. And then I met a friend named DJ Touchtone, blind DJ, one of the dopest DJs you will ever see, in just dope DJ. And then realized that he's actually blind. He'd be like, oh man, he's even doper than, you know, he's even more, he's like a fucking superhero. Right. And so we did this bit when I worked with him in Philly. We did this bit where, because the common thing is that, oh, Touch ain't blind. He ain't really blind. He's just playing. Because he doesn't wear glasses, he doesn't wear shades or whatever, and he doesn't walk around with a stick. He moves around, especially like at the radio station, just all by himself. He get out the cab, walk in the building, take the elevator up, down the hallway, key card to come into the office, make his way to the studio, all while, hey, what's happening? Oh, what up, T? Oh, what up, C's? Oh, what up? I'm like, how is that even possible? And so everybody will go, oh, he's not really blind. So you have to, there's a bit that we did. I don't know if you ever saw it.
I did.
So we did this bit where, you know, we played on that. Like if Touch is really blind, and, you know, my character said, okay, we're going to see if he's really blind today. And I put a table out in front of him in the hallway in which he falls, not really falls. We just kind of, you know, he acted, he played, he was right and wrong. You know, he played along with us, and it was a great bit. But
so you had to put up a disclaimer that says no blind black men were injured in the filming of this bit.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Because he was down, and he has such a great sense of humor. I'm one really inspired by Touchdown, and it just comes out of, because we were talking about Magoo. But really inspiring, really inspired by DJ Touchdown. Recently, he did the what is it called? Jazzy Jeff does this stream every week, and he puts up, guest DJs to come on and rock with him. Cool DJ Red Alert went and did it. Grandmaster Flash was on there with him, and then he had, Touch Tone maybe about a week or so ago. He went on there.
Oh, that's dope.
Murked it. And he told and Jazzy Jeff told the story of how he met in the post, promoting that he was about to be on there. He was telling the story of, first meeting Touch I was at a club. He walks up to the DJ booth, puts his hand out to give him a pound, and he completely egged him. Like, so that's what, Jeff thought, right? At the end of the night, he saw people like leading him around. He was like, oh, he's blind. So yeah, in any case. What up, Touch? Hey man, them Eagles. Sorry, bro.
Can we talk about it? We want to talk about it?
Speaking of which, yeah.
I didn't watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step out on a ledge here and say I didn't watch the halftime show because I was disinterested in both.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you? I mean, you missed out. First of all, it was a pregnancy reveal party with a football game, somewhere around it.
How arrogant is that? I mean, everybody was like, oh, it was really cool and it's really dope that she did. How arrogant is that? It's kind of arrogant.
She went out there and was like, you gonna get this baby bump.
That's what Aesop said.
Yeah. First of all, have you seen the memes Because there's a meme going. So her dancers were all in white, these white jackets with hoods on, and then she was dressed in all red, and they were running across the field towards her and away from her and towards her. And somebody said that's what ASAP Rocky's sperm cells look.
Oh no! The internet is undefeated.
Undefeated, man. It's like ASAP Rocky sperm cells. Somebody else was like, "Oh, now we know why his name is ASAP." The joke being, folks, she just had a baby, 8 months ago, and she's already pregnant. That means they didn't wait the 6 weeks. So, hey, it happens. Congratulations. But I think her performance halftime was decent. I didn't think it was horrible. You know what I mean? She's not a big dancer. She's not going to get out there and sweat out her perm or nothing like that. So, she rocked with absolutely no guest.
Is that a good thing?
Yes and no. It depends on what you're watching for. If you're watching for guests, obviously not, because you want the surprise guests and all that. Nah, she ran through her hits. My wife was saying that. My wife was like, "Oh man, I forgot she had so many hits." I'm like, "Yeah, she got some joints. She's been doing it for a while. She got some records. Yeah." So there's that. She could do a whole verses by herself.
Look, God bless her, right? Again, I was never a fan, and I'll never forget this. It was early in her career. Mm-hmm. I was working for a company, and I had to go. We did a lot of radio advertising. Okay. So, when you're in that world, the rep for the radio station, you think it's real cool to come to a radio station, right? So they were like, "Hey, come by the radio station. You can meet the on-air people, blah, blah, blah." They had no idea that I had done radio for like ever before I got out of radio. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, sure. And we go to the station, and I don't remember who was on air. It might have, I'm not going to say the station or the person, but it was someone young. They were very young.
Say it. No.
They were young. It was a young woman. And she was coming out of a Rihanna song, and she did the post-sell and, closed the mic.
Post-sell is what, talking about the song after the song.
Sorry.
For the non-radio people listening.
So she does the post-sell, she closes the mic, and everybody shakes hands, and she's, "Oh my God, I just love Rihanna so much. She's the best singer of our time." And exactly. And I said, "Rihanna can't sing." And she got visibly upset. So I'm standing there. It's me.
How dare you?
Right. It's me. It's me, my boss, the account executive. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Rihanna can't sing." And she goes, "Name one person who can sing better than Rihanna." I said, Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, hell, Mary J. Blige on a good day, Alicia Keys. I just ran down this long list. And you know what she said back to me?
What was that?
"Oh, those are real singers. I don't mean them."
Oh, okay.
I was too through. That, in fact, that was around the time I realized, yeah, I'm probably never going to DJ again. It's just, I promised myself when I start doing it that I would stop doing it when I stopped loving the music. And I think that was when I really kind of realized I had fallen out of love with the music. It's like a bad relationship. You wonder about them from time to time and you check in on them, but you ain't really trying to call them back or get back together,
Okay. On the music front, I can tell, I have a different appreciation for it because it's always been music that I didn't quite understand. There's always been some form of it that I didn't quite get, but when listening to it and watching people respond to it, I understood why they liked it, right?
Yes.
It wasn't necessarily musical. Like okay, to be honest, what up, John? Lil Jon's Who You With? I hated that damn record.
That record was so fire, though.
But not because of the production. It was the chants. It was the chants that got people riled up in the club. I didn't think it belonged on radio. I thought it was a club record. When radio started playing it like in rotation, which was weird to me, I was like, I don't get this is stupid. But again, I understood why people liked it. The same is that I think it's the same right now for a lot of the new music. I'm learning new appreciation for some of the new artists. I can't name all of them, but I have a new appreciation for, what it actually is. You know what I mean? So I like Rihanna's music for what it is. I like Rihanna's voice for what it is. She is not a real
Whitney
singer.
Houston.
Yeah, like
she's not that, and I would never expect her to be, and I can appreciate her for what she is and what she does as well. Yeah. But for what she is and what she does, I'm generally disinterested. And if I'm gonna, this might be a hot take. I think most people probably feel the way that I feel, but they're interested because of the hype. It's so hyped, and it's so, you have to see this. This is the it thing. And all I say is, why? Why is it the it thing?
I think people listen because the other thing I would say, what I like about Rihanna is her attitude. That girl don't give a damn. She don't give a damn, man. She stopped doing music to do her Fenty Beauty and made way money off of that. So she's like, music? Album? Right. I love her attitude. I've seen her say some wild stuff on social media to her fans a couple of times. Like back when it was like, somebody was like trying to guess if she was pregnant. This was years ago. And she politely told them to get out of her uterus, but not in those words. She said it very, very crass and bluntly. I was like, oh, wow. All right. Go girl. But nah, I think she, again, she's more of a pop artist. I think she's bridged like the Caribbean sound into dance and pop music, which is dope. And she found her lane and stayed in it. Can't hate that.
Okay. Oh God. I haven't said this in a long time.
What's that?
Ooh, black people gonna hate me for this.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had a drum roll.
I haven't said that since season 1, I think.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
I started trying to say things that black people wouldn't hate me for. Look.
As long as you don't say Uncle Trump, we good. I'll explain that in a minute.
I think I would like her I don't give a crap attitude more or at all if I didn't have a daughter.
Okay.
I listen, I think she is a fine example of a person who has a dream and works hard to go after it and accomplish it. I think she's a fine example of an intelligent business person who has an idea and brings it to market and scales it in a way that, frankly, most people in businesses can't do. I think she's a fine example of a creative individual. Even though I don't believe she's a great singer, I think she's still very creative and she puts together music that sounds good and people like. I don't think she's a great example of who to be like. What is it? It's a French word for it that I could actually say and YouTube wouldn't kick me for it. It's not laissez-faire, it's another one, but this world be damned kind of attitude, and I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say and however I want to say it and do whatever I want to do. I just don't think that's a good example. I just don't. And there's more that I want to say that I can't say because it will most certainly get me canceled and us kicked off of YouTube. But Here's what I'll say, and perhaps my brother will translate for me the way he did in that other video in the comments.
Right.
I still think the best chance for rescuing the Black community, the African American community in particular, is the nuclear family. Read between the lines.
I got you. Okay. Hey, folks, get in the comments. What do you think about what you just said just there? Because we can't go any further on it at this point. The former president, Donald Trump, had a lot to say about Miss Rihanna, and we won't spend a whole lot of time on this. He said her performance was bad, said it was terrible.
No, let's quote him.
Yeah, please.
Because I thought it was fantastic. He says, quote, "Epic fail," all caps.
Oh, okay.
Rihanna gave, without question, the single worst halftime.
You got to do that Trump voice.
I haven't done Trump in a while. Let me see. You got to do the Trump mouth. Epic fail. Rihanna gave, without question, the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. This after insulting far more than half of our nation, which is already in serious decline with her foul and insulting language. Also, so much for her stylist. That's my best Trump. I know it sucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Sweat. He's salty at her for, what did she say? F Trump on a call. Was that her or was that Beyonce?
She said, what did she say? I saw the quote earlier when I was researching.
I feel like he's getting
his
black girls mixed up.
Where is? Oh, yes. She spray painted F Donald Trump at the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas in 2020.
Oh, okay.
She said something like he's the worst individual in America, the most mentally ill human being in America. That's what she called him. That's what she said.
Hey, listen. Maybe not the most, but certainly the most mentally ill elected official, the highest office ever. And a close second, probably Marjorie Taylor Greene. But that's a whole nother story, folks. She's bleeding space lasers from, I don't even know if I can say the J word without it, anyway, you know what I mean. Any case, Trump's an idiot, and we'll just leave it at that.
But why his boy co-signing?
Because he got him out of jail and he thinks he's beholden to him. Kodak Black. I am not really impressed with this man's intellect at all, though. Like he, and I think he has smart people around him that keep him doing charitable things to get people to go, okay. You know what I mean? Just because he's not, I don't think he's judging a book by its cover, I don't believe him to be a very intelligent dude. I've never had a conversation with him. I've only heard interviews and seen how he speaks. And he doesn't seem like, doesn't seem to be the most well-spoken. But he went on to actually refer to Trump as Uncle Trump.
Yes.
That kind of gives me what was that movie? With Jamie Foxx, Sam Jackson's character from Django. Remember the house slave?
Oh, T.
I can't remember his name. He was the most. Sam Jackson referred to him as the most despicable Negro in cinematic history. But Kodak Black has entered the chat. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I ain't gonna say nothing else about him. That's it. That's all. I don't even think he votes. Like for real. Anyway, sorry, never mind.
The comments are ruthless. Okay, let me see if I can dance around this with YouTube language.
Okay. From
one of the commenters, I'll let you guys go and look at it because I don't want to put him out there. He took a plea for messing with a 14-year-old. Nobody want to hear what this insert person has to say. There's no way to dance around that.
Okay. Does Michael Blackston come to your mind? Is one of his favorite words?
No. And the words themselves aren't that bad, but you put the two words together and it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Censorship, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Somebody comments, let's be honest. It's like the pregnant chick coming to work and doing a half-ass job. Oh.
They're talking about Rihanna.
Yeah, there are people who agree.
That's funny. And she gets a pass because she's pregnant. Listen, yeah, we not. Hey, now listen now. Yeah, you ain't gonna blast Queen Rihanna too much more now. You know, that's one queen. We about to lose one. Can't lose both of them.
Oh my God. Let me get out of the comments. I'll be in them comments all day. What's funny is I read other people's comments. I don't read ours.
That's horrible. Folks, do not. I read them and respond. So
he does.
Please.
He does. I'll kind of scroll and look through and I'll see T replying.
Yeah, I read and respond, especially if it's something worth responding to. So speaking of which, Rihanna was compared to Beyonce before the Super Bowl by what's that man?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, he made that comparison, then had to walk it back. Well, speaking of Beyonce, her tickets, first of all, her tickets for her tour, have they hit for sale yet? Have they gone on for sale? You got to get on a waiting list or something weird like that. It's an interesting thing that's going on with these tickets. I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying. Because I'm cool. Because if it's a waiting list and you got to apply or sign up or whatever, I'm cool. I'm cool. But no,
it ain't that serious.
Exactly. I've seen her perform on TV enough to go, all right, yeah, that's a good performance. But there's a sister, it's a preacher that made headlines. Well, has gone viral recently. I sent you the story. Hang on, let me pull it.
Yeah, you did.
And in any case, she basically likened Beyonce to a witch. Actually, she called her a witch almost blatantly. Check out what she had to say. Her name is Tim.
Going to Beyonce's concert. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song because they want some clout. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah.
I don't think he gave himself that name, but okay.
When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady beehive? And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you. You think this is small stuff. You think you not going to that lady's concert is not an initiation. You think you not going to that concert is not a ritual. You think you not going to concert is not a gate. That entire concert is a gate.
Have we heard enough?
How dare you?
I heard enough when she first started talking, but
And what's interesting is, so at the beginning of that post, she addressed, someone reposted some of her comments on social media from 2012 and 2014. How was that even possible? 2012 and 2014. It looks like like a continuation of. Any case, she says, got a chance to catch Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, and it was amazing. A few gospel tunes because we love Jesus, some Beyonce hits because we stands for that bish, and some reggae because we from the rock.
So
she went on to go, that was back when she was in the world and whatever the case, and
yeah, which is what I was gonna say. Like that to me is not some damning smoking gun.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you are one way, you learn some things, or, I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm just saying in her mind, she learned some things and she now moves and operates differently and she sees things differently. And, look, I think that there can be, if you listen to lunatics long enough, you can learn how to pull what little bit of truth in what they say out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's a witch or not. It's a real thing, right? It's not like witchcraft and stuff you see on TV, but there are people who are wicked, right? Like it's a thing and it is what it is.
Right.
But again, don't know if she is one or don't know if she's not one. But is she, through the type of music she makes, the sounds she picks to use, the trends she tends to follows, because I would argue she is not a trendsetter musically. She's a trend manipulator and she takes advantage of it and she kind of follows it. Is she targeting youthful women? Yes. Are they a part of her beehive or whatever you call it? Yeah. So that part is true. Whether she's a Wiccan or not, I don't know. But that part is indeed true.
I think, okay, so the fan bases, coming up with the names, like, what's Taylor Swift's crew called?
I have no idea. You will not call my manhood in question. But
ladies and gentlemen, that was a setup. I was trying to say he's gonna go. And Mike would have said, they're the Swifters. I'm like, aha.
Although I heard a song from her, side note, I heard a song from her on the radio today, and I didn't know it was Taylor Swift. It was like this hip-hopped out urban.
Her sound has morphed. She's different.
Ain't nothing country about that sound no more. I was like, who is this? This is actually kind of hot. And then I looked down at the little radio and it was Taylor Swift. And I was like, that can't be right.
Country fans, some hardcore country fans would argue that she was never country. But
you make a point.
That's a whole nother thing. But in any case, I say all that to say, having, marketing and having a fan base and calling them like, this is my crew, whatever, right? I don't think that that's just what the intent behind it is what's important. We can't, I can't pretend to know what her intent or anything was, but for the people that idolize artists and celebrities, that is more on them making gods out of humans, right? I don't think that's necessarily on the celebrity themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they have a responsibility to represent a certain thing. It depends on whatever you believe, right? But for people, and there are some hardcore fans, that Beehive, and that some hardcore fans that, okay, I know a woman, and I won't say her name, because I don't particularly care for this person, but I know.
T, you should not talk about Kaylee that way.
Fail. My wife know. She already know. If I had a beef, I'm gonna tell her about it. Then I'm gonna come on here and tell y'all about it. So
at least she knows first.
Right, she knows first. That way, the fight happens, and then I can go. All right. So you know what she had to say to me. Nah. But now I know a woman, grown ass woman. I'm not talking like 20s and not like she up over 40, close to 50. And that completely idolizes Beyonce. So much so, there was a running joke that she would kidnap and replace Blue Ivy with herself.
Oh.
Like she would, if she could be adopted by a Beyonce and Jay-Z, she would definitely do so. And there was a bunch of or live in her skin, like literally, she would do it. Like she was like nuts, and then she was really nuts. So it wasn't a hard takeaway. I think people like that's a bit problematic because you've made an idol out of this person. For those that believe, right? And for Christians, understand that idolatry is a sin. So making an idol out of a celebrity is a problem. I don't think the celebrity themselves are making themselves idols. It's the people.
But aren't they in a way, right? And listen, I'm not uber Christian. I'm not. I am a Christian.
That's a whole different one. Uber Christian. That's funny. I ain't gonna say I'll work it out before I say it again, but that's funny.
Listen, I'm not the Bible thumping guy. I can't chapter and verse it for you. But look, I think the Bible warns against idolatry, and the Bible also warns against misleading God's people. So if you can purposefully stand up and say something that you know is not beneficial or helpful, and you say it, you use the gift God gave you to say it to not 2 people or 10 people, but to millions, literally millions of people, some of the onus comes back on you. Some of the onus comes back on you. Yes, they are wrong for idolizing her, but.
Okay, here's a question. When's the last interview you heard from Beyonce?
I don't have to hear any. I hear her music.
That's not the same thing, I don't think. The music, I think, okay, you can make statements in music, but leading people a certain way requires like what we're doing, talking about, and actually, you know what I'm saying? I think, I think it's more than just the music. I think it's more to it.
Which one do you think would carry more favor and influence over millions of people? Hold on. A TED Talk or a Billboard #1 hit song?
Definitely a Billboard #1 hit song. People would hear that message over and over and over. I get that.
And I used to say this when I used to make music. I don't make music anymore. I used to view music just out of watching how people would respond to it as transferring emotion through sound. When you sit down and you play certain chords, you play certain notes in certain sequences, it does something to you. It does something to a person. Bass, it's tribal. Let's go back to your Lil Jon example, Who You With, which I was going to say I think was the perfect song. I think Who You With was the perfect song. It was stripped of music. It was one note, boom, 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 boom. That was it. And boom, 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 boom. It was all low end. That moves you a certain way. That's why if you want to make and you make music, you want to make a record that gets people moving in the club. What's the first thing you put in there?
It's 808s and drum sounds.
Sounds do something to people. They move a certain way. So if you want to open up a person and you want to give them something that maybe they deserve or maybe they want or need or maybe they don't, put it in music. Put it in music. People are like, listen to the lyrics and things that are in these records. They are horrible, right? And I'm not saying that's a new thing, but they've always been horrible.
No,
But
I mean, I definitely
run around
agree.
singing and saying horrible shit because of the music.
I definitely understand and agree that, music, especially, it's like your diet. You are ingesting sounds into your person, into your body, your soul. Words have power. I completely understand that. You say things, something out loud about yourself or whatever the case, you start to take on what you're talking, what you're saying. Your name is important. Your name has a meaning, and this is getting really, really deep. But you're called for your child. When you name your child, you're calling that child that name over, and whatever that name means, you are speaking that to that child over and over and over again. So, so I understand though. I do understand that, and I agree. I also think that the intent, though, there has to be some intent behind it, or maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this one, and that the intent doesn't matter. The effect is what it is.
I don't disagree with you. Actually, I think the intent does matter, but I don't think it's a question of does she or any person, right? But does she intend to hurt people, or does she not intend to hurt people or intend to help people? I don't think those are the only options. I think the third option is intend to get rich and not care about how it affects people, to be indifferent to the effects of what you do. I think that's the third option. And I think that's probably the more likely option. And maybe not don't care at all, but more concerned with self and riches than the effect of putting out, they didn't do Scrubs. What was Can You Pay My Bills? Putting out Independent Woman and just really kind of hammering this. Oh, you got a husband at the house.
Okay. No, I get it. I mean, I don't think they wrote any of those songs themselves. That's a whole nother thing.
Which I'm sorry, I can't let that one go. And sorry, the next few words that I say are going to be bleeped out. If somebody wrote a song for them that said, I want to suck a dick, you think they would have made that record?
I believe early on, if they felt it would hit, they would have. Now, no.
That would have hit. That would have hit. A bunch of dudes would have bought those records. It worked for Luke. It worked for Little Kim. It worked for Foxy Brown. It worked for Trina. It worked for Kaya. It would have hit. And that was around in the same time. That record would have hit. But somebody said, that's not the image we want them to have.
I mean,
this is the image we want them to have.
And Janet Jackson was freaky on records too. So that's a whole nother, throb. Go listen to those lyrics.
I have. I have many a time.
So
I'm going to listen to them later.
I concede to your point that the music is definitely important, but I also, believe that there's an intent to it. All that to say.
Sure.
This sister that's preaching this, there may be some validity to it. I don't know for sure, because I don't know what the actual intent is behind the music. But I do think that the fire and brimstone preacher thing that's not the message God intends for us. That's not all he has for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not, I think that's a bit over. And then people make a whole lot about, out about religion, right? I don't claim to be a religious person. I have a relationship with God. It's about relationship, not religion. Religion is a bunch of rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't wear this. You can't go there. I think what that sister's preaching mostly is like religion. There didn't seem to be any love into what she, from her fire and brimstone speak. Again, I'm not a preacher, but that's just kind of what I got from it. And I feel like if the whole point of preaching the gospel is to lead people to God, to Christ, that fire and brimstone message is not necessarily the way to do it.
So if there's one thing that I agree with like a lot of people, I think most people say, we're in new times. Like things from the old times don't really necessarily apply.
Right.
And I'm not saying the Bible doesn't apply or whatever. And God, we've gotten real deep into this conversation.
Yeah,
but what I think is there was a time in human history where fire and brimstone was necessary because of how unsafe the world was just in general. So a sterner, tougher message was needed in order to deal with sterner, tougher times. We live in the safest time in human history right now. So I don't think that type of message is necessary now. I think a softer, more love-based kind of message, I think, is a little bit more appropriate for the times. Now, people will disagree. That's fine. You can. You said something I was going to, I don't remember. It was right there.
Relationship.
No, it was about her, but whatever. It's I think we probably beat that horse to death.
Yeah. Folks, what do you think about it? We jump in the comments, let us know what you think. And I will be reading and commenting and replying back. I don't know. Can't speak to Mr. Swift here.
If I can't sleep at 2 a.m., I'll read them.
A little sad news. You've heard by now. Plug 2 of De La Soul, Dave, aka Trugoy, the Dove, passed away this week. I am a big De La Soul appreciator. I don't want to say the word fan now because a fan feels, fanatical. You know
Which
what I mean?
is where it comes from.
Where it comes from. I appreciate their music. I grew up on their music. Their music was something, from my teenage years, from my youth. You know what I mean? So it's like in my head, these three brothers were my brothers. You know what I mean? And I saw something. Shout out to DJ Mars. They changed music. They changed hip hop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just by being themselves. So, I followed the story, when they were fighting for the rights of their music. We talked about it here. We talked about it when they were special guests. They appeared on, what's the cartoon?
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go. They were on Teen Titans Go as themselves, fighting for their music. And I followed that story as they were negotiating and going back and forth with their record label. And finally, when when it all panned out, as a matter of fact, March 3rd, all of their albums recorded with Tommy Boy will be finally streamed and available for the public to stream and purchase online or whatever. So, I would encourage people to, if you love their music, definitely support them, and send condolences to the family, close friends and family, and to the fans as well of De La Soul, of the group De La Soul, because it's sad to say he wasn't much older than us, man.
54.
Yeah,
54.
He was he had been public about it, but I wasn't aware that he was battling congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
And the cause of death hasn't necessarily been publicized, but I suspect that maybe they may play into it. But
Look, I have a definition for legends, legendary, legend, all that stuff. Especially when it comes to music. Music was one way before them, and then after them, music was different.
oh yeah,
That's De La Soul all day long. Prince Paul, shout out to Prince Paul, who really kind of pioneered that Daisy Age hippie sound, which others have tried. Like I think Justin Warfield was kind of trying it back in the 90s, but others have tried. Nobody has ever really come close. Nobody's come close to the impact. Like I was reading stories and different things today, and they were saying that like he was one of the most influential hip hop artists of all time. I agree with that, with the group. Yeah, man, a lot of people I know are upset. I got a few phone calls, folks in tears. I talked to our friend of the show and personal friend, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me because I only talked to him briefly. But I talked to Dave West today.
what up, Dave?
I didn't get a chance to talk long because I was hustling through my day, and I was trying to, carve out time to really talk to him, and I failed at that miserably. So I apologize for that. But yeah, he was upset, man. And rightly so.
And those were his brothers.
Yes, it was one of his brothers.
Those were his brothers. Yeah.
So
yeah, our condolences to that.
it's been a rough year so far, man.
Yeah, and it's only February.
Gangsta Boo on January 1st.
Yeah. Wow.
Trugoy on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. It's hard. So I'm I think what I'm doing my radio show here in New York City. I'm on a radio station called 94.7 The Block. We play throwback music. And so it gives me opportunity to kind of to play that music that I grew up on, that we all know and loved, and paying homage to those artists that may not be getting the same type of spotlight that they were getting, in their quote unquote heydays. You know what I mean? So showing appreciation for that music coming up. And so I say that, shout out to the Jungle Brothers. Shout out to there's a whole list. There's so much music out there, so many artists out there that I love. But De La Soul, Tribe, Jungle Brothers, though they were definitely in my core, you know what I'm saying, core group, as I was coming up. So
while we're in the sad and somber space, we were off for a week or so, and we missed another passing, which many of you may not know who this person is. I only know who this person is because I met her and was a bit of a fan. And there's a story I'll tell about her off air because she's no longer here, and I can't really tell that story. But one Miss Annie Wershing, she passed. She's 45. She was in 24. She played Agent Renee Walker in 24, which was around the time that I met her. She was in Star Trek Picard. I think she played the Borg Queen in this last season of Star Trek Picard. And she's been in a whole bunch of stuff. But she passed suddenly at 45 a couple of weeks ago and left behind a husband and children. So rest in peace, Annie Wershing.
Well, on a lighter note, two things. I think I figured out what to get you for your 50th birthday.
How tall is she?
Well, if she puts these boots on, the Astro Boy boots that's been kind of moving around.
Oh,
I've seen a lot of people wearing them, but not as good as Coi Leray. Coi Leray did a performance at Barclays Center, and and she wore these bright red, I'm calling them Astro Boy boots because they look. If you look at the character Astro Boy, the cartoon, he wore nothing but underwear and these bright red boots. Koi came close. She had little outfit on as she performed, and those big, hideous,
silly
red boots.
Looking crazy boots. She looked like Mickey Mouse.
and that completes the Mickey Mouse fit. Like I told my son, these are impractical and ugly ass boots, but I want a pair so I can put them on my desk.
Look, she looked like she got them from the Ronald McDonald used shoe sale.
I can't even, man. Listen,
How old is she, by the way?
Koi's in her 20s or maybe mid to late 20s.
She looks like a 15-year-old girl.
She's super skinny.
Because I was going to have some
tiny.
comments about the outfit and her being 15. But if she's in her 20s,
she's in her 20s. She's in her 20s.
Looks like a child.
Well, that's because she doesn't have much body. She's just very, very slim. Don't shame that child. Don't body shame her.
I'm not shaming her. I'm just saying she looks like a child.
Little booties count too.
I'm pulling up a picture of Astro Boy so people can see these boots. They do look just like Astro Boy's boots.
It's Astro Boy boots. That's exactly that's exactly what they are.
Oh my God.
And before we go, because I think we've kind of gone over time a little bit. I still say our dear friend Nick Cannon must be stopped. He did something a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how I knew that he played piano. He played piano, but he sat at the piano and played a song from one of my favorite groups, New Edition, and did his own rendition of "Can You Stand the Rain?" and didn't sound too bad doing it. This is him. Take a listen.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. I can count it, baby, but when that's not possible,
A lot of reverb though.
tell me, can you weather the storm? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. But tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Storms will come, but this we know for sure. Can you stand the rain?
Okay.
Oh God. I'm not laughing at the performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I made the mistake of going into the comments. Well, why don't we just go there for a second?
Let's please do.
Nikki Coleman Comedy says, we know he can stand the rain. He never seems to wear a raincoat. We need more of this talented Nick and less of Nick the Sperminator.
Oh God.
Oh God. First off, how the hell you get a clip this damn long? I forgot I was on Instagram and thought I was on YouTube.
Yo. So listen, so check this out.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more. My question is, which baby mama does this John go out to? I'm just saying.
Probably all of them. So at this point, he could do a whole concert with just them. Get your lighters up. Section B.
Looks like we sold out tonight. We got a packed house.
Just the right side. Just the right side. And not the left side. You sing it. So he did this. So just in time for Valentine's Day. By the time you see this, we may have already shot past Valentine's Day and be heavily into Side Chick Day, but that's a whole nother story.
Side chicks need their day.
And you know, they already understand what they understand what it's about.
They do provide an important service.
Important service, yes. The side chick bit got me in trouble with my mother-in-law. So I'm just joking. Your daughter understands these are jokes, okay?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She called my wife. Hi, Kelly. What is this side chick? What is this side chick he talk? What is this? Hi, Kelly. My mother-in-law is Honduran and I'm doing a terrible accent, but you know. So in any case, Ma, these are jokes.
Oh, that's so funny. You're gonna have to block her on Instagram.
Because every year I put up like a side chick card or a cake, you know, that I find on the internets. One year I did a whole side chick mix, a side piece mix, and I just played music that was side piece influence. I mean, there's a lot of it. There's from TLC to SWV to everybody has a shoot. LL Cool J, Hey Lover, he is stalking your girl at the bus stop. Like, listen to that. Like, that's a whole nother.
That don't even sound right.
That doesn't sound right, but that's a fact. That's just listen to the lyrics. But in any case, Nick Cannon did this for hold on.
Valentine's Day.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. Here we go. Joining Christian Mingle.
It's almost Valentine's Day, and this year I'm joining ChristianMingle.com. I'm seeking women's. Multiple plurals. Women's.
Cut.
What do you want your Christian Mingle name to be? Goliath. Church attendance. Seed of our Father. Children of abundance. Marital status.
Take 26.
Have kids. Spread your seed. Genesis 1:28. I'm just following the word. It's Bible, baby. Religion. Charismatic. Occupation. Dropping that I'm sorry.
Take 32.
I love Jesus and vagina.
Cut.
But I can't say that.
He is funny.
And in the comments.
Yes.
Skip Valentine's Day, Nick. Just skip it. This day isn't for you.
Yo, wear yourself out, young brother.
Oh my God.
Oh man, just going from house to house with flowers and candy. That's a full-time job. That's 2 days for Nick.
Nick about to have 20 kids due in November. Your name need to be The Real Abraham.
Oh, wow. Dropping that D. Yeah.
Most of them are just saying, dude, how could you do this?
He leans into the, it's funny.
People are mad that he's playing with the Bible and Christian Mingles and how you play with God and all that stuff. That's what they mad.
I think God has a sense of humor.
Because if he didn't have one, we wouldn't have one.
Exactly. And when he'll think it, when it ain't funny, you'll know.
About 30 seconds before lights out.
You'll know. Right. You'll know. I had a vision out of one eye. Okay. Anyway, folks, hey, happy Valentine's Day, happy Side Piece Day, whatever you celebrate. Maybe you don't know.
Wait, you're hilarious. Just maybe you think it's Happy Valentine's Day for you, but it's actually Happy Side Piece Day.
Right. If you're celebrating on the 15th, 16th, 17th, you might be a side piece.
And
what does your
hold on.
shirt say?
Hold on, I got to show you.
Okay, I'm not even gonna pretend. Yeah.
Szeretlek.
Yeah.
It's Hungarian.
What does that mean?
I love you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know where I was going.
I'm now officially going to start learning Hungarian. So I'm gonna try to learn some new stuff every week and all that. But so Szeretlek is the thing that I learned. I learned happy birthday, which I forgot. It's Bulldog. God, I can't remember birth. Napta is day though. It's Bulldog happy. I forget birth and then it's day Napta. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm picking up some phrases. I know how to say beer.
I bet.
That was the first thing that I learned. How do you say beer? Hey, beer.
I see. So I've been learning Spanish for a while. There's some I knew, and there's some more that I've learned. I picked up off of my wife. But what I mostly learned from my wife is all the bad words. Mierda. that means shit in Spanish. There's a whole list of them. I've learned all the bad words, and I've incorporated that into my daily dialect. So
we need to learn the foreign language words for curse words and dangerous YouTube words so we can trick the algorithm.
Let's do it. Well, we can't announce it because then they'll be looking for it. You just gotta do it.
Nah, it's just the algorithm. It's not a guy sitting in a room, right? It's it's just the algorithm. The algorithm picks up on, probably the American ones and skip over the other ones. But yeah.
Okay. That sounds great.
Said it like to our followers.
Yes, what he said. And
to my baby.
Oh,
that's and wait, we missed one. Black History Month.
Oh man. We're black every day. I'm of the thought process that we need to do more to celebrate Black history throughout the year and not just when they announce it in February. So yes, definitely. But I think every day, especially now with the mouth breather in Florida doing all that he can to erase and to mute Black accomplishments, Black history, and just from the educational system. And by the mouth breather, I'm talking about the governor of Florida. I don't want to say his name.
Well, I think people can figure out who you're talking about based off saying the governor of Florida.
Yeah, but I was going to say his real name is the shittest or something like that, but that's a whole nother. Any case, but yes, Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. Hey, high five yourself or high five somebody Black just for no reason around a bunch of white folks. Make them nervous. We should start doing.
That's not nice.
We should. No, you know what's funny? I'll get off of this really quick. But
that's what he said.
I thought that was going to ease by.
Yeah, have you met me?
But not that I remember this for a fact, but I used to see like in films and on TV, it seemed like to be a very welcoming brotherhood amongst us when we would see each other out. At least on film and stuff, on TV and film, and what I've understood about being places and being in a room with more Europeans than Black folks, or you're the only Black person there, and you see one brother there, you always kind of give a nod. That still happens. We just start high fiving and throwing the fist up again. We need to do that again.
It happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time, but I think it's some of what you said, and I think it's all this gray hair on my chin and I just look like an ancient old man, but I'm not an ancient old man. But I've noticed that younger brothers, when 35 and younger, they speak and they're respectful. And, you know, and they take a moment to say hi or right. Like this negative world. And I know it exists. I do. But this world where we don't get along, and I don't live in that world anymore. And I don't know, maybe it's my age. Maybe I manifested it. I don't know, but I just don't live in that world anymore, man.
I think when we were younger, to a certain degree, to a certain extent, we viewed each other as a threat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when we would see older brothers, older gentlemen, we had that same, it's an OG. What's up, sir? You know what I mean? More respect. Versus when, seeing somebody, you're kind of more suspicious of that person, which is sad.
Well,
for some, that's not a all the time, every person thing. I'm just saying, I'm sure that is maybe a part of it as well. But I'm just saying, we bring that back for everybody. You know what I'm saying? What's up, sister? You know what I mean?
I am encouraged. I am encouraged by, if you listen to the narrative, if you listen to what, they put out on news and all of that, we are just this dangerous, predatory group, and I am encouraged by the number of young men who I see and talk to who are talking about businesses, who are talking about bettering themselves, who like, okay, I got to go to the gym. I've got to, I'm working on this promotion. I'm doing this for my mother, taking care of my kids, getting the kid right. I'm encouraged by that because I see a lot of positivity amongst young brothers these days. And it makes me feel good, man. It does.
And also I'm starting to I'm meeting younger brothers that, that are kind of reaching out to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's happening? I'm trying to learn XYZ, trying to do this, da. And I spend time to talk to them, it's out the blue. You know what I'm saying? It's because I don't, and that's mainly because I'm, someone passed their wisdom and knowledge on to me, and I want to do the same. So starting to get that,
Maybe we should, halfway through this year, do a second podcast or maybe a 15-minute or something and talk about industry stuff. Right? Okay. Like actual things that can help people. Like this is how you do this and this is how you do that, right? Because look, you've been in radio for how many years?
All of my adult life.
That's crazy.
All of my adult life, from the time I turned 18 to today.
That's crazy. So, I mean, it's a lot of information there. I mean, I certainly wasn't in radio that long, but I still got some radio stuff in my head. Marketing stuff, TV stuff, graphic design stuff, video editing stuff. I've worn a lot of hats. So I think it's probably some information that we could probably do to help people.
Let's do it. I'm with it. Maybe
like a little master class or something, or a 101 class of some sort or whatever.
Okay. Let's do it.
Bet.
Folks, again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hey, be safe out there. And we'll see you on the flip side, y'all. Peace.
Peace.